What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. If you're new to the channel, basically what we do here is a lot of tech reviews, pretty much doing all the reviews on the latest mobile electronics, along with tips, tricks, how-tos. I'm a professional fitter by trade, so we've also got full-length videos on installations and you name it, right? So we're going to keep going. Today we have the Alpine iLX-107. I had a fair few people asking about wireless CarPlay. So this unit is a wireless CarPlay unit, and we'll go and take a look at the unit and the features and what it does and what it doesn't do and all of that good stuff. Alright guys, so just looking at the unit, we can see we have the Alpine 7-inch touchscreen display. Moving to the side of the unit, we can see we have a single DIN chassis and a double DIN screen. So a lot of the units, a lot of Alpine units, even the new Sony units are all starting to do this, where they'll have a single DIN mounted at the top and the screen going down, or single DIN at the bottom and screen going up. In some cases it makes it harder to mount, in some cases it makes it easier. A lot of cases it's easier because we have less space now, so if you can imagine a car with a tight area to fit the unit, you've got a little bit more space for your wiring and stuff. Moving to the back of the unit, so we've got our fan, we have our universal antenna plug, we have our GPS antenna connection. So this is a really good thing that Alpine do. Kenwood do it as well. Sony don't do this. They supply an external GPS antenna. So what that does is, if you imagine your phone is the primary device that's going to be connected to this unit, and when you're using maps in the car, you're relying purely on the GPS reception from your phone. Well, with these units, an external GPS can be mounted to help improve GPS reception. It's really good. It really helps, and it's a smart idea. Moving on, we have the camera plug. So there's a couple other bits and pieces, but mainly camera plug. Some of the Alpine units, depending on what year the 107 specifically is, will have the direct Alpine plug, which means you can only use a Alpine camera, or you need to buy their adapter. As well as some units have the RCA connected. If some units just have the RCA coming off this plug, camera plugs in, no worries. For the direct camera input, if you just look at our videos, we actually have a video showing you how to hardwire that directly. So save you some money right there. Pre-outs, so there's 3 pre-outs. That is for amplifier, subwoofer, front and rear channels. You have your steering wheel remote, as well as microphone input is here as well. So the units do come with an external microphone, again, much better quality, and also the power harness. There was also one thing I forgot to show you guys. So right here, we have a USB input. Now, the unit is wireless CarPlay, but it does come with the USB to run to the glove box like we do with our units. This USB can be used for CarPlay as well. So if you plug your phone in, CarPlay will boot up and start running, and also charge the phone, but you don't need to use it. This USB does not work as an input. Sorry, it's a USB output, not input. So you can't put music, videos on a USB and stream them. You can't use it. It doesn't read it like that. It just charges and is used for CarPlay, and that is all. Alright, so next we'll boot this thing up and see how it looks. So first thing we see is the Alpine splash screen. The good thing about the Alpine splash screen is it can be changed. So if you do want to see a video on how to do that, drop a comment below. I'll be happy to show you guys how to do that. So we select our English. As we see, it doesn't take very long to boot up. So when the unit is first start up, it brings you into the radio screen. So if we press that little button there, it will bring us home. Here we've got our radio app, CarPlay, which obviously is disconnected. The unit also has an auxiliary input. So the auxiliary input is on the same plug that has the AV outputs for an amplifier, on that little pre-out plug. We've also got a camera widget, so if you do connect your camera, if the camera is connected to ignition power as opposed to just reverse, you can look at the camera at all times just by pushing that button, and you can also change these little cones to set up your guidelines properly. Up here we've got a little phone widget. So this is how you connect your iPhone. Here is our sound settings. So if we look in there, we've got our balance and fader. We've got tone control. You can turn your subwoofer on or off, change the level and phase. Also, if you see the screen, very responsive. Also, capacitive touch. So, won't work with your nail, will work with your finger. So capacitive touch is obviously a lot better than resistive. It's glass, like your phone. It's not a resistive panel overlay. The touch is actually built in, and yeah, it's a lot better. The glass, I wouldn't say it's the same quality as your iPhone if you've got the later iPhones, but it is still very good. A lot of these equalizers you don't really need. Application volume's pretty cool, so you can change the volume on each thing. I usually just leave all this on 0. Expander, so you can play with all this sort of stuff once you've got your speakers connected. And then you've got equalizer presets, so you can play with those. To be honest, this unit doesn't have a lot of audio features. A lot of the aftermarket units will have crossover settings and a whole bunch of stuff that you can play with. This unit is pretty simple in that aspect. Now it's just brought us back to the main setup screen. So in display, that's for, okay, I thought that was for rear camera, but yeah, it is camera. So brightness, color, contrast, you can play with all of that stuff for the camera settings, which is pretty cool. In your general settings, you can set your time and date, language, text scroll, on or off, so that's when the text scrolls along. Touch sound feedback, so obviously that's your beeps. Mute while backing up. Screen and lighting settings. So dimmer, automatic. If you've seen the other videos, I tell you guys, don't bother connecting the dimmer wire anymore, it's all automatic. About the unit and demo mode, make sure that's always off. And the last setting we have in application, so you've got obviously the camera application. You can change the position, whether you've got side cameras, front or rear. Auxiliary settings, signal, AUX in, whether you turn it on or off. Factory audio, USB iPod, whether it's enabled on the car or not, and your CarPlay settings. So obviously you want the wireless on. You can play with the devices, steering wheel controls on this, steering wheel left or right. In Australia, we're on the right. Microphone you want on. Microphone level, you can play with that. If people are saying they can't hear you when you're in the car, you can turn the gain up a little bit and play with that. Other than that, that is about it. So it's probably the major downside to this unit is if you don't have your phone with you or connected, you've got nothing. Well, you've got radio. That's about it. Here we've got volume down, volume up, Siri, which will obviously activate Siri when your phone's connected, your home button, and track down, track up. So let's look at how this thing actually connects. So I'll move that over. I will get this up, make sure you can see. That looks good. So we'll go into settings. As you go into Bluetooth, you just hit pair and OK. And then we hit use CarPlay, and it does the Wi-Fi on its own automatically. There we go. So it is very easy, very simple. I just made it look hard. And so now you have wireless CarPlay. It's basically, you can leave the phone down. All right, we'll bring this back over. And so you've got phone. So when the microphone's connected, obviously Siri will hear you. You can tell her whoever you want to call. You can also just go through your contacts or even dial a number. This is our home button. So when I did the settings for left and right on the steering wheel, if you're set it to right, your little home button and recent widgets will be on the right, and if you set it to left, it will be on the left. Music, if you've got Apple Music, we'll just bring it up exactly like it does in your phone. You've also got the For You browse and radio stations, which is all part of the music app. Maps will work just as it does on your phone. So obviously that shows you the map, and then you've got destinations, recent destinations. You can click Siri and tell her exactly where you want to go, or you can even just type it in. This is also really good with the GPS antenna connected. So if you are in a poor reception zone, you're not going to worry about your maps falling out because you also have an external GPS. Messages, there's no typing, it's all speech. So you can listen or compose a message via talking to Siri. Now playing will just bring you what you were playing recently. Main menu will bring you back to the Alpine screen as well as this home button. Podcasts, if you listen, Audible, if you listen, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Waze, and WhatsApp all work through the unit. So, all in all, it's a good unit. It's got wireless CarPlay. This video is probably a little bit on the older side, as Alpine have had this unit out for a while. It was the first wireless CarPlay unit available. Now, if you look hard enough, you'll see Kenwood and Pioneer and all that. They're starting to jump onto the wireless CarPlay thing. And so we will do reviews on those units as well with the wireless CarPlay. But when this came out, it was a big thing to have wireless. However, they didn't pack it full of features. So you've got obviously radio and you've got your CarPlay, and that's really about it. So you jump in the car. For the people that are going to jump in the car and just, for me, I jump in the car and I listen to a podcast on the way to work. If I need to use my maps, phone, right, it's all there ready to go, but you need to have your phone with you. And if that is you, then this is perfect. Yeah, and that's about it. All right, we're back outside and it's just about to start raining. I've just come back out here because the lighting is way better and it's obviously easier to see. So thanks for watching. If there's any videos you want to see, anything that you need to know, don't hesitate to just drop a comment below and let us know. I'll be happy to do videos on obviously tips, tricks, how-tos, any reviews you want to see, any units. If you have any questions, I welcome all questions. I try to answer every comment. So yeah, any questions, let us know. Hope you liked the video. If it was helpful, like, subscribe, it really helps the channel. And I'm gonna get inside before I get wet. Thanks.